What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Before we get started, make sure you like and subscribe, and we're gonna get right down into it. So we are looking at Temple of Gainz. If you haven't been paying attention, they dropped a couple new pieces of equipment. We wanna take a look at it. They are on pre-order. So let's just hop into it now. So we're on the Temple of Gainz website. I believe all the ones they dropped are plate loaded. So we're gonna go into the plate loaded section of the website. Obviously, you can see here right now they're running a sale, I think until January 5th. We see some of these discounted prices here. Great machines. Been thinking about getting this pendulum squat. Have to readjust my gym though to do that. All right, let's go down. By the way, this machine is so slept on for under $2,000, the pullover machine. I use it like every back workout at this point. Such a good machine. Okay. So a couple things just going down here. One, we have a pre-order here for the quad send, if you haven't checked that out. But then when we get down to the bottom, here are the new machines. So we're gonna start here. Plate loaded isolateral explode lat pull down machine, version 2. So Yoni really likes to make sure when things come out to market that he puts them, he tweaks them and, creates a version that has improvements over others. So this already, we have here a version 2 of this machine. Let's see if we can hop into this, take a look. So you have the ISO handles. My prior gym I went to had a version of this machine. Very interesting machine. Now for a home gym, let's see what the dimensions are on this machine. And I gotta believe this machine's probably pretty heavy too. All the Temple of Gainz stuff. Like that lat pullover, I don't think I could move it without a couple guys at my house to help me. And once I built it, make sure you're building the stuff where you want it to be. Let's see. I don't see the actual specs here. Okay, let's go through the pictures. Okay, here we go, down here. All right. 91.2 inches tall, 83.7 inches, 67.6. All right, because of the seat. Okay. It's actually pretty narrow, 35.8. That's a pretty narrow machine with the weight horns, 49.2. But obviously, you guys hear from me all the time on this channel, I can't fit anything this big in my gym, so you won't be seeing me look at this piece of equipment for my gym. In real life, this is a pretty big piece of gym equipment, 83.7. So something to keep in mind. Heavy duty construction, premium bearings, revised vertical handle position for improved unilateral grip. All right, let's go back. Let's take a look, see what else we got here. All right, this one's pretty cool. I kind of thought about this machine to replace, if I were to replace the current, hammer strength type ISO row that I have. This is the Explode row machine, already a version 2, even though this hasn't been released yet. Let's see. 94.4 inches wide, 38.2 inches tall. Okay, 47 inches wide. So when you take a look at this machine, let's zoom in here. There's a lot of cool stuff going on here. You have the ISO handles. I like that there's the positioning for the feet. Some of these machines don't have that, and you have to sort of put your legs on the ground. I think Body Solid has a machine like this, and that's how it's set up. I'm not cool with that. There's a knurled handle at the top there for grip. That's pretty cool. So this is a pretty cool back machine. I think this is gonna isolate probably better than the hammer strength, which is an absolute plate eater. So let's see, version 2. Version 2 elevates our existing machine, blah, 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 blah. This plate loaded compound mid-row uses independent arms. heavy duty 11 gauge steel with premium bearings and components. Lengthened pad, 2 optional storage weight horns. You know, that's something important to point out. You don't have to put the weight horns on the machines, the storage horns. My pullover machine, I didn't put the storage horns on there because it made the machine too wide. So, you know, you don't have to, you can keep them off, something to keep in mind. Oh, I guess they're recommending companies who can help build machines. Is that what this is? Oh, maintenance. Okay. So, let's see. Let's go back and look at the other machines. So let's look at what they did with the linear row. So I was excited when I saw this. I was asking Yoni, I was like, when are you gonna do a linear row? And that was like, I don't know, a year before anything even came out about them doing linear rows. Probably before I had even gotten my Mikolo linear row. So he does things differently here on this though. He's got the isolated handles here. Let's see. So you can do unilateral work. It's got the handles, adjustable weight horns. It has 2 instead of 1 in terms of the rails, if you want to call them rails. Are these band pegs here? That's pretty cool. Storage in the back. These handles look like they're the same handles that are on the T-bar row. They're great handles. They use them with straps. It doesn't get cramped when you're trying to use them with straps. Let's see. Adjustable foot plate. People have asked me if this is a machine that I've been looking to pick up, and I've sort of gone back and forth with this. I actually like having a bar on the machine. I haven't used one of these, to be fair, with the handles like this, but there's just something about the bar that gives you some, you know, you can change your hand positions without having to, you know, sort of adjust the handles themselves. So that's something that I prefer, the bar over the individual handles. That's one thing that's sort of made me sort of take a step back and wonder if it's something that is worth putting in the gym. I kind of wish that these could be popped off and then a different bar could be added onto it. I think that would be a cool change that they could probably offer, because it would just, I assume, pop into those slots and then you can have both the unilateral handles and a bar. But I don't know if that screws up the path of the machine by doing that. I could be wrong. So let's see. Independently articulated arms, linear bearing guide rods. Yeah, thank you. I called them something else. They're guide rods. Adjustable back pad, stronger lat building. So these linear rows have become one of my favorite pieces of back equipment. Just like, you know, a lot of you have seen, obviously, the Mikolo videos I have. That was down to $249 recently, which was a crazy, crazy deal. I mean, think about what you're getting for that much. Now, granted, the build quality on this Temple of Gainz machine is gonna be a lot more, you know, than what you get on something like the Mikolo, but the Mikolo works well. I mean, I've had that loaded up 4 plates on a side to use, you know, and it was a champ. It worked great. So this is always going to be something that I'm thinking about with my home gym, from Temple of Gainz. There are a couple other companies that make these as well. I'd be curious to see, like I said, if there's ever like a bar that comes out as a replacement for the handles, you know, just to see sort of if, you know, you can get a little more adjustability out of the machine. Now, going back, we can just sort of take a quick look over the Temple of Gainz equipment. You have your typical chest press. The quad send is absolutely insane. Like, kudos to Yoni on that one. They have a belt squat, kind of like a pit shark. $17.99, not bad. I can't use this in my gym because the platform's too high. I'll hit my head on the ceiling. Always make sure you measure. Here we go. Okay, I missed this before. So this is the other pre-order that we have. Plate loaded adjustable Converging Smith machine, $29.99. I'll be honest with you, this is not a machine that I think I would put in my gym, especially since it's too big anyway. But it's pretty cool. I wish, let me see, I don't want to speak out of turn, but the thing that always gets me, and I always talk to you guys about shoulder pains and stuff, you know, not having handles. Can the handles be adjusted on this? I don't want to speak out of turn and say they can't. So I'd have to look to see. But whenever I see a handle that's straight like that, my shoulder starts hurting me just right off the jump. So Converging Smith Bench version 3 is now in production, limited quantity. New incline setting, press angles, 13 total press angles with laser and graze. Improved sliding bench, adjustable multi-width handles. These handles were comfortable position by ensuring. All right, so I don't see that they can actually change the angle of the handles. So something to keep in mind. Best bench press ever. Okay. Then we got some pictures down here. All right, cool. Listen, I know that this is expensive. Some of this stuff is pretty expensive compared to the cheaper stuff that's out there now. But there are a lot of pieces of gold with Temple of Gainz. A lot that I have in my home gym. I have this here, I have this here, I have this. I've thought about looking at the isolateral incline chest, which is sort of like a hammer strength super incline. Yeah, so Temple of Gainz dropping some new stuff. Make sure you guys check them out. If you have any questions about these pieces of equipment, let me know. Obviously, I have the ones that I have in my gym. Unfortunately, I haven't used the stuff that I don't personally own, so it's hard for me to comment on them. But I'm happy to see a lot of these coming out. Another one that I'm waiting for is the seated chest press. I know that they have one. I think that's going to be coming out once they're done designing it. I'm not sure. But if you guys have any questions, make sure you drop them below. Make sure you like, subscribe. God bless everyone, and have a good day.